This is an Avery Dennison tech video with the topic being OEM paint. Before wrapping any vehicle with Avery Dennison wrap film, it's very important to do a check over of the paint. This should be done as it will help determine the long-term durability of the install. It can help avoid any conflicts with the client as it can manage their expectations and helps you as an installer of a wrap shop know the proper guidelines to ensure that you are protected by Avery Dennison's warranty. Avery Dennison gives a warranty on all painted surfaces or vehicles that have OEM paint. OEM stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer, which, in regards to vehicle paint, means that it's the original paint from the manufacturer. To stay within Avery Dennison warranty guidelines, the vehicle paint has to be OEM, under 5 years old, and in good condition. All this information can be found in the Avery Dennison product bulletins. When doing a check over of the paint, some damage can be very obvious, like UV damage commonly found on roofs and hoods, or scrapes and bad touch-ups. Rust or lifting of the paint from the underside can also be clear indications that the paint cannot be covered under the Avery Dennison warranty, regardless of whether or not it's OEM. However, on most vehicles, determining OEM paint and damage can be tricky, so the following will help you with this process. The first step is to clean and prep the entire vehicle first. The reason for this is that it enables the installer to clearly see the state of the paint. Pay extra attention to removing tar and bugs, as these can be often mistaken for paint damage. With the vehicle clean, there are several ways to determine if the paint is OEM. Several can be done visually or tactically. One is to stand back and look to see if there are any color or hue differences between each section on a vehicle. Differences often mean that the vehicle has been in an accident and repainted. Keep in mind that these differences in color or hue can be subtle, so it's important to look at the vehicle in good light and at several different angles. Another indicator that the paint is not OEM is to look for dirt in the paint or for an orange peel look. Both are signs that the vehicle has been repainted. Another way to determine if the paint is not OEM is to look for overspray. This can often be seen on window moldings, and it also can be seen or felt by opening the doors and running a finger on the edges. A clear line of overspray or drips are often the result of a repaint. Another way to determine if the paint is OEM is to use dedicated tools that are made for this purpose. These can range from ones that simply use magnets, which are inexpensive, or are electronic, which can range in price from $100 to $600. These can be purchased online or found locally at auto body stores. These tools determine the thickness of the paint. The thinner the paint, the more likely it is to be OEM paint. If the paint is thick, then, in this case, the magnet pops off quickly. It's a likely sign that the vehicle has been repainted and is not OEM. There are several ways to help determine if the paint is OEM or not, is to simply ask the client or car dealership if the vehicle has been in an accident or repainted. Or you can go to dedicated online sites that store the history of vehicles. This can be a simple and straightforward process that involves submitting the VIN number. In order to qualify the vehicle under Avery Dennison's warranty system, it's essential to document if the paint is OEM and any pre-existing damage on a pre-inspection sheet. 2 copies should be made, one for the client and one for Avery Dennison. The pre-inspection sheet should include essential information such as VIN number, lot number of the material used, date of install, vehicle make and model along with the year, as well as a dated signature of the client and installer. If it has been determined that the paint is OEM, then the next step is to document any damage that can affect the Avery Dennison warranty. The installer should make a 360-degree checkover of the vehicle. This can be done with or without the client. It's important to determine what type of damage is on the paint, such as a scratch, dent, chip, and so on. A good tip is to circle the damage with a dry erase marker and move on to the next section. Using a good portable light can help the installer see in poorly lit areas, like on bumpers or in wheel wells. Also, having an extra set of eyes during the process for a few minutes can help ensure that all damage is noted. In this case, it's Molly Waters, who is the head technical specialist for Avery Dennison North America. Common areas on vehicles that can have a variety of damage can be found on mirrors and on door handles, particularly in the cups. Damage can also be found on the back bumper, mainly on the horizontal flat section at the top. One spot that is commonly overlooked during the pre-inspection process is the front of roofs, as these can have rock chips. Also, the sides of the doors can get chipped from bumping into solid objects when the client is getting in and out of the vehicle. Lastly, be sure to document any damage on door jamb areas if these are being wrapped, as these can be scratched or dinged up. When documenting the damage on the pre-inspection sheet, be sure to not just use an X, as this doesn't tell the Avery Dennison tech rep exactly what kind of damage it is. Instead, use an index with different types of damage and mark the exact damage on the outline of the vehicle. With the damage documented on the pre-inspection sheet, it's critical for the installer and client to sign and date the document. This means that both parties mutually agree on the assessment, and any additional notes should be made as well. In addition to the pre-inspection sheet, pictures should be taken of the damage. Be sure to avoid taking too detailed a picture, as this makes it hard for the Avery Dennison tech rep to see exactly where the damage is. Instead, take wide shots, and if the damage has been circled, this is enough to then match it up with the pre-inspection form. Be extra thorough when taking pictures, and be sure to save the pictures as well as to send them to the client for safekeeping. If the paint or clear coat does come off, then be sure to save the film in a plastic bag, find the pre-inspection sheet and pictures, then contact an Avery Dennison tech rep. They will be able to see if the OEM paint has been damaged before install, and, if not, then begin the warranty process and file a claim. This has been an Avery Dennison technical video on OEM paint, proudly produced by the Rep Institute.